Fluency isn't a dream. It's a daily choice. Let's explore how to make it real through story. Welcome back to LMJ English, where we turn language learning into a daily inspiration. If you're on a journey to fluency, you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new story that helps you grow in English step by step. Fluency defined, what does it really mean? Picture this. You're strolling through a peaceful market in a new country. The smell of fresh bread fills the air. A friendly vendor turns to you and says something in English. Without pausing, without panicking, you respond. You smile. They smile. You both understand each other. No grammar textbooks, no Google Translate, just a real human connection. That moment, that effortless exchange, is what fluency feels like. Fluency is not about perfection. It's not about knowing every single rule or having the vocabulary of a scholar. Fluency is about flow, like water gliding down a stream. It's the ability to speak and understand English naturally without fear or constant correction. It's being able to order food, talk about your weekend or share your opinion, even if you make a few mistakes along the way. Many learners think fluency means sounding like a native speaker, but even native speakers forget words, change their minds, mid-sentence or make grammar errors. Fluency isn't a performance, it's a conversation. It's about expressing ideas with confidence, listening with purpose, and responding with ease. To be fluent is to be free, free from the fear of getting it wrong, free to connect with others, to explore the world, and to show who you really are through English. And that freedom, it's not a faraway dream. It's a skill you build word by word, day by day. Fluency in 5 months is possible. Here's why and how it works. 5 months, just over 150 days. At first glance, it might not seem like enough. Time to do something as big as mastering a new language. But here's the truth that many people overlook. Fluency isn't measured by the number of months or years you've been studying. It's measured by what you do with the time you have. And if you decide starting today to dedicate yourself fully, those 5 months can become the most powerful and transformational months of your English learning journey. Let's compare it to learning to play the piano. If one person practices once a week for an hour and another practices daily with focus and intention, who will learn faster? The answer is obvious. Language learning works exactly the same way. It's not magic, it's momentum, consistency, purpose. If you can give English your energy every single day, even just a few hours a day, you'll create a rhythm, a routine, and a level of progress that will amaze you. But what does that actually look like? Imagine waking up each morning and starting your day with a podcast in English while sipping your coffee. Later, during lunch, you read a short article and jot down new words. In the afternoon, you hop on a quick video call with a language partner or tutor. Then in the evening, you relax with an English movie, repeating some of the lines out loud for fun. This isn't just studying. This is living with the language. And that kind of immersion, practiced every day, leads to powerful results. Yes, it requires discipline. Yes, you will have days when you feel tired or frustrated. But the secret is this: every time you practice, you plant a seed. And by the end of 5 months, you'll look around and realize you've grown a whole garden. Your listening will be sharper. Your words will come more easily. Conversations that once felt scary will feel exciting. Fluency in 5 months isn't just possible, it's within your reach. All it takes is a plan, your full attention, and a little bit of faith in yourself. Because fluency isn't about the time on the calendar, it's about how you fill that time, with intention, with heart, and with the belief that you can do it absolutely. Here's a more detailed, creative, and extended version of that section, with a proper heading ending in a period. Quality versus quantity. Why how you learn matters more than how long you learn. Imagine two people sitting at their desks, both, with a goal to speak English fluently. The first learner studies for 5 hours straight, eyes glazed over, yawning, flipping through a grammar book while checking their phone every few minutes. The second learner spends just 1 focused hour. They listen to an English podcast, repeat every sentence out loud, take notes and try to use the new words in their own short story. Who do you think will make more progress? This is the power of quality over quantity. Many learners get stuck in the trap of thinking more time equals better results. But time alone is not the secret ingredient. Focus is, engagement is, smart. Strategies are: you could sit in an English class for years and barely improve, or with the right mindset and techniques, you could make noticeable progress in just a few months. Let's put this into perspective. Language experts often suggest that around 600 hours of dedicated practice is enough to reach conversational fluency. That may sound like a huge number, but when you divide it across 5 months, it becomes surprisingly realistic. About 20 hours a week or just 3 to 4 hours per day. Now here's the key. If those 3 to 4 hours each day are full of meaningful, focused, and immersive activities, you'll move forward faster than someone who's casually learning for years. So what does high-quality practice actually look like? It means studying with purpose, not just watching a YouTube video, but pausing to write down useful phrases and then repeating them out loud. Not just listening to music, but reading the lyrics, understanding them, and singing along. It means being present, being intentional, making the most of every minute you spend with the language. High-quality practice also means choosing materials that are right for your level, challenging but not overwhelming. It means reflecting on what you've learned and reviewing often. And most of all, it means staying curious and emotionally connected to the process. You're not just learning English, you're shaping your identity as a speaker of the language. Time is important, yes. But it's not the hero of this story, you are. Your choices, your mindset, and your effort define how far you'll go. When you combine enough time with the right methods, fluency doesn't feel so far away. It becomes something you feel growing inside you every day. High-quality practice tips: how to make every minute of learning count. If time is the soil in which fluency grows, then quality is the sunshine that makes it flourish. You could spend hours surrounded by English, TV shows playing in the background, grammar books open on your desk. But without focused attention and the right strategy, progress will feel painfully slow. High-quality practice is not about doing more, it's about doing what matters most. Let's explore 3 of the most powerful ways to bring quality into your everyday English routine: comprehensible input, daily speaking, and emotional engagement. Let's begin with the concept of comprehensible input, a term that sounds academic, but is actually quite simple. It means learning from material that is just a little bit above your current level. Think of it like climbing stairs. If the steps are too tall, you'll struggle. If they're too short, you won't go anywhere. But when they're just right, you keep moving forward with confidence. Comprehensible input challenges you, but it doesn't overwhelm you. When you watch a video, read an article, or listen to a podcast and understand about 70–80% of it, your brain starts to fill in the gaps naturally. You pick up new vocabulary and context. You hear sentence structures used in real conversation. And you do it all without the stress of needing to pause and look up every word. This kind of input keeps your learning active, intuitive, and sustainable. Next comes one of the most critical and often neglected parts of language learning: speaking every day. Yes, every single day. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or advanced, shy or outgoing. Speaking is how you build fluency. Speaking is how you break fear. And speaking is how you turn passive knowledge into active ability. Many learners wait until they feel ready to speak. But here's the secret: you get ready by speaking. Talk to yourself in English as you get dressed. Describe what you see around you. Pretend you're explaining your favorite movie to a friend. If you can, find a conversation partner online or use apps like HelloTalk or Tandem to connect with others. The more your mouth moves in English, the more natural it will feel. Over time, hesitation disappears and fluency takes its place. Finally, let's talk about emotional engagement, the heart of effective learning. The truth is, you remember what you care about. If you're bored, your brain shuts off. But when you're emotionally involved, when you're watching a movie that makes you laugh, reading a story that inspires you, or listening to music that brings back memories, English stops being just a subject. It becomes an experience, so follow your passions. If you love travel, explore English travel blogs. If you enjoy cooking, dive into recipe videos or cooking shows in English. Let curiosity guide you. Learning should never feel like punishment. It should feel like play. These three principles, input that pushes you, speaking that frees you, and content that moves you, are the golden triangle of high-quality practice. They make the difference between memorizing words and living them, between understanding grammar and feeling the language in real time. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need hours and hours. You just need the willingness to engage deeply every day in a way that lights up your mind and your heart. Vocabulary strategy. Why fewer words can lead to bigger fluency gains. Close your eyes and imagine walking into a bookstore filled with thousands of English books. Each one is packed with new words, long definitions, and complex expressions. You pick up one, then another, and soon your mind feels overwhelmed. How can I possibly learn all these words now, do you wonder? Here's the secret most learners don't know: you don't have to. You don't need to memorize every word in the English language to speak it fluently. In fact, most people use only a few thousand words in their daily lives, and that's more than enough to communicate with clarity, confidence, and connection. Studies show that around 4,000 of the most common English words make up about 90% of everyday conversations. Think about that. 90%. That means when you focus on the right vocabulary, the kind you hear in daily life, you equip yourself with the language tools you actually use. Words like help, buy, happy, want, and time. These are the words that build real conversations, not fancy textbook terms like photosynthesis or circumnavigate. Imagine trying to build a house. You don't start with golden chandeliers or rare paintings. You start with bricks, wood, and nails, the essentials. In the same way, common vocabulary gives you the foundation. It allows you to talk about your family, your job, your feelings, your plans, your life. Once that foundation is strong, you can decorate with more advanced words if you want to. But the house must stand first. So how do you build that vocabulary effectively? Start with themes that matter to you. Learn words about food, travel, hobbies, work, emotions, topics you care about and will actually use. Use spaced repetition. Tools like Anki or Quizlet to remember them. Don't just read the word, use it. Write it in a sentence, say it out loud. Teach it to someone else. When a word becomes a part of your story, it stays with you. Also pay attention to phrases, not just individual words. Instead of learning book alone, learn borrow a book, read a book, or open a book. These chunks of language make your speech smoother and more natural. They're like ready-made blocks you can use without having to build every sentence from scratch. In short, the path to fluency isn't about collecting rare gems, it's about gathering useful tools. You don't need all the words, you just need the right words. Master those and you'll be surprised how far they can take you in 5 short months and for the rest of your life. Importance of listening. Train your ear and let English come alive. Imagine being at a dinner table in a foreign country. Laughter echoes around you. People are chatting in English, some words familiar, others strange. You listen closely, trying to catch phrases, to grasp the rhythm, to connect the dots. At first, it's like trying to tune into a radio station that keeps slipping in and out of focus. But then something shifts. A phrase lands, a joke makes sense. You smile before even thinking about it. That's when you know you're not just hearing English anymore, you're understanding it. Listening is the gateway to fluency. It's where the language starts to sound real, not just written in a textbook. It's where you stop translating and start feeling English in your bones. Think of children. They listen long before they speak. They absorb the music of their mother tongue, the melody, the pauses, the emotions tucked inside every sentence. And when they finally speak, it sounds natural, fluent. That's the power of listening. But here's the catch. Not all listening is created equal. Simply having English noise in the background won't change much. You need active listening, the kind where you focus, engage, and train your ear like a musician learning a new song. When you watch a movie, don't just follow the plot. Pay attention to pronunciation, tone, and speed. Pause and rewind. Try to repeat short sentences exactly as you hear them. This process, called shadowing, is one of the most effective tools for speaking naturally. It helps you sync your voice with the rhythm of real English. Start small. Choose a scene from a favorite movie or series. Watch it with English subtitles. Listen closely, then turn off the subtitles and test yourself. Can you still follow? Can you mimic the characters? It's not about being perfect, it's about progressing. Every word you catch, every phrase you repeat, brings you closer to fluency. Podcasts are another treasure. They're like your personal English coaches, whispering fluency into your ears wherever you go, on a walk, on a bus, while cooking dinner. Choose topics that excite you. Mystery stories, tech trends, interviews, or daily news. Start with slow-paced podcasts if you're a beginner, and gradually work your way up. Many podcasts are created specifically for English learners with built-in explanations. Use them. Then there's music, the heartbeat of culture. A simple love song or pop hit can become your personal English teacher. Listen again and again. Look up the lyrics. Sing along. Notice how singers connect their words. Hear how pronunciation bends and flows. Music can teach grammar, vocabulary, and feeling, all wrapped up in one unforgettable tune. Repetition is key. Don't just listen once and move on. Go back. Replay, memorize lines. Whisper them to yourself before bed. Make listening a daily ritual. Over time, your ear will sharpen. You'll stop needing subtitles. You'll start hearing the language. Behind the language, the tone, the humor, the emotion. And one day you'll find yourself in that dinner conversation again. But this time, you're not just listening. You're laughing with them, responding, flowing. Because your ear has been trained, your brain has adapted, and your fluency has come alive. Word by word, beat by beat, moment by moment. Speaking with confidence, don't fear mistakes. Speak your way to fluency. You open your mouth to speak English. You know the word. You've practiced the sentence. But suddenly there'll be silence. Your brain freezes. What if you say it wrong? What if they laugh? What if you sound silly? This moment, the hesitation, the self-doubt, is one every language learner knows. And it's the moment that decides everything. Because here's the truth. Fluency isn't born from perfection. It's built through boldness. Confidence doesn't mean never making mistakes. Confidence means making mistakes and speaking anyway. Every time you speak, even if you stumble, you grow stronger. Every awkward conversation, every mispronounced word, every grammar slip is actually a stepping stone toward fluency. Think about how children learn to talk. They say things like "goed" instead of "went" or "I catched it" instead of "I caught it." But do they stop speaking? No, they laugh, they try again. And with time, their speech becomes smooth, natural, and fluent. You need that same fearless curiosity, that same willingness to be wrong on the way to getting it right. Start by speaking every day, even if it's just to yourself. Narrate your actions. I'm brushing my teeth, I'm making tea, I'm going to the store. These simple moments become practice sessions. Look in the mirror and describe your day. Pretend you're giving someone directions. Read a dialogue aloud from your favorite English book or movie scene. If you can, find someone to talk to, a tutor, a language partner, or a friend who's also learning. Use apps like HelloTalk, Tandem, or italki to connect with speakers from around the world. But remember, the goal isn't to impress. The goal is to express. Even if your grammar isn't perfect, even if your vocabulary is limited, as long as the other person understands you, you are speaking successfully. Want to boost your confidence even more? Try recording yourself. It might feel strange at first, but it's a powerful tool. When you listen to your own voice, you start noticing your progress. You hear what you're doing well and where you can improve. Over time, that voice will sound more fluent, more natural, more you. The road to confidence is not about never being wrong. It's about learning out loud. It's about accepting that mistakes aren't failures. They're feedback. Every word you speak, no matter how imperfect, is proof that you're brave enough to try. And that courage, that's what fluency is made of. So speak. Speak often. Speak proudly. Because the more you speak, the more your fear fades and your fluency begins to shine. Repetition is key. Master words through daily practice and smart review. Think of your brain like a garden. Every new English word you learn is a seed you plant. But here's the catch. If you don't water that seed, it won't grow. It will disappear, forgotten under the soil of other distractions. That's where repetition comes in. It's the watering can, the sunlight, the care that transforms fragile seeds into strong, blooming knowledge. Many learners get excited when they first encounter new vocabulary. They write it down, feel proud for a moment, and then never see it again. A week later, it's gone, forgotten. This is perfectly normal. Your brain forgets what it doesn't use. That's why repetition isn't boring, it's essential. Repetition is how we turn new words into familiar tools we can use in real conversations. But not just any repetition will do. There's a method that works like magic when used correctly. Spaced repetition. Instead of cramming words all at once, you review them at gradually increasing intervals. After 1 day, then 3 days, then a week, and so on. Each time you review a word, you strengthen your memory of it, like tightening the knot of a rope. Apps like Anki or Quizlet are built on this principle, helping you remember hundreds of words without feeling overwhelmed. Still, repetition doesn't mean just reading the words again and again. You need to use them. Say them out loud. Use them in different sentences. Connect them to real situations. For example, if you've just learned the word opportunity, say, This is a great opportunity to practice English. I had an opportunity to meet someone new today. Every challenge is also an opportunity. The more you use a word in your world, the more it belongs to you. Revisit old lessons regularly. Go back to your vocabulary lists from last week or last month. See which words still feel familiar and which ones have started to fade. Give those fading words a little extra love. Don't worry about being perfect. Focus on being consistent. Also, don't just rely on digital tools. Keep a notebook. Make sticky notes. Tape them to your mirror, your fridge, your laptop. Let English surround you in small everyday ways. Make it part of your environment, something you bump into, think about, and speak aloud without effort. Repetition is not a sign of failure. It's the rhythm of mastery. The more you repeat, the more fluent you become, like a musician practicing scales, like an athlete doing drills, like a dancer rehearsing steps. You're training your mind to speak freely, smoothly, and confidently. So keep planting those words. Keep watering them with practice. One day, you'll look back and see a language garden full of meaning, expression, and power that you grew, one repetition at a time. Immersion techniques. Surround yourself with English and let fluency find you. Close your eyes and imagine this. You wake up to an alarm labeled "Good morning." You check the weather. Partly cloudy, 17 degrees, and all in English. Your phone, your laptop, your favorite apps, they all speak English to you. You're not just learning the language anymore. You're living it. This is what immersion means. And if fluency is your goal, immersion is your secret weapon. Immersion doesn't require a passport or a plane ticket. You don't have to move to an English-speaking country to create an English-speaking environment. In fact, you can turn your daily world into a classroom, without walls, without homework, and without pressure. Because immersion is not about effort, it's about environment. The more you surround yourself with English, the more your brain begins to treat it like your native language. Slowly, your inner voice switches. You stop translating. You start thinking. And fluency follows naturally. Let's start with something small but powerful. Change your device settings to English. Your phone, your laptop, your social media apps, switch them all. This turns every notification, every menu, and every button into a micro-lesson. Suddenly, you're learning words like settings, storage, download, or update, without even trying. It's one of the easiest ways to train your brain to think in English, because you're seeing it all day long. Next, fill your eyes and ears with English media, the kind you actually enjoy. Watch your favorite movies and TV shows in English. Start with subtitles in your language, then switch to English subtitles, and eventually try watching without any. Choose genres you love. Laugh with comedies, cry with dramas, learn with documentaries. Don't just sit and watch, engage, pause the video, repeat phrases, mimic the actors, shadow their speech like you're rehearsing a play. This not only improves your listening, it sharpens your speaking and pronunciation too. Now let's create English-only zones in your daily life. Choose a space in your home, a desk, your kitchen, even your shower, where English is the only language allowed. When you cook, say your steps out loud. I'm chopping vegetables. I need to boil the water. When you're getting dressed, describe your outfit. I'm wearing a blue shirt and black jeans. These small moments add up. They create an automatic daily habit of using English in real life. Don't stop there. Choose English hours throughout your day. Maybe the first hour after you wake up is English only, or the last hour before you sleep. During that time, read an article, write a journal entry, listen to a podcast, or just think in English. These routines act like training sessions for your mind, and soon they become part of who you are. But what's immersion without real people? Connect with others who share your goal. Join online communities for English learners. On Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, you'll find thousands of people exchanging tips, practicing grammar, and encouraging one another. Look for hashtags like #LearnEnglish or #OstEnglish. Practice and jump into the conversation. Ask questions, share progress, make friends. Even better, try language exchange platforms like HelloTalk, Tandem, or Speaky. These apps connect you with native speakers who want to learn your language, and in return, help you practice English. Some learners even form deep friendships or study partnerships across the globe. Speaking regularly with real people adds the kind of pressure and excitement that accelerates your learning like nothing else. If you're lucky enough to live in or near a city, check out local English meetups. Look on sites like meetup.com or community boards for English conversation groups. You don't need perfect grammar to join. Just a smile, a hello, and the willingness to learn together. In the end, immersion is about replacing passive exposure with intentional living. Let English walk beside you throughout the day. Let it live in your music, your menus, your mind. The more you surround yourself with it, the less it feels foreign and the more it becomes a natural part of you. One day you'll wake up and realize something beautiful. You didn't force fluency. You invited it into your world, and it stayed. Balance all 4 skills. Strengthen every corner of your English foundation. Imagine building a table with only one strong leg. It wobbles, it tilts, it collapses under pressure. That's what learning English feels like when you focus on just one skill, like listening or reading, while ignoring the others. True fluency isn't built on a single pillar. It stands strong when all 4 essential language skills, listening, speaking, reading, and writing, work together in harmony. These skills are not separate subjects. They're 4 different ways your brain processes, absorbs, and produces language. Each one supports and strengthens the others. And when you give them equal attention, you begin to think in English, not just perform it. Let's break them down. Listening, the music of the language. Listening is the first step. It teaches you how English sounds, the rhythm, the pace, the intonation. It's how you learn to hear emotion, sarcasm, excitement, or uncertainty. The more you listen to natural English, through podcasts, shows, music, and real conversations, the more your brain starts to recognize patterns. You stop translating in your head and begin to understand in real time. Pro tip: try shadowing. Listen to a sentence and repeat it immediately, copying tone and pronunciation. It's like vocal training for fluency. Speaking, the engine. Of fluency. Speaking activates everything you've learned. It turns passive knowledge into active communication. When you speak, you strengthen your muscle memory. You build speed, confidence, and flow. It doesn't matter if you talk to yourself, your dog, or a partner online. What matters is movement. Words must move from your brain to your tongue. Pro tip: narrate your day in English. Describe your actions, your thoughts, or your surroundings out loud. Fluency starts with familiarity. Reading, the window to words and structure. Reading expands your vocabulary. It shows you how sentences are built, how ideas are connected, and how grammar is used in real life. With every paragraph, you learn new words in context, words that stick better because they have meaning. Start with easy articles or short stories, then build up to blogs, books, and novels. Pro tip: read out loud. This improves pronunciation and builds a bridge between reading and speaking. Writing, the mirror of your mind. Writing is where your thoughts become visible. It's how you organize ideas, test grammar, and solidify vocabulary. A short daily journal in English is more powerful than memorizing 100 rules. When you write, you slow down, reflect, and truly own your language. Pro tip: don't aim for perfect. Essays. Start small. Write about your day, your dreams, or your to-do list in English. When these 4 skills are practiced together, they feed each other. Listening helps you speak. Reading fuels your writing. Speaking makes you better at listening. Writing clarifies your reading. It becomes a cycle, a system, and fluency becomes more than a goal. It becomes a state of mind. So instead of asking, "What should I focus on today?" ask, "How can I include a little bit of all 4? One podcast, one short talk, one page of reading, one paragraph of writing." That's all it takes to build a balanced, powerful, and lasting fluency. Daily learning schedule. Turn every hour into a step toward fluency. What if every day was a chance to grow your English just a little more? What if, instead of cramming for hours or waiting for a perfect time, you could build fluency through small, powerful habits spread across your day? The truth is, you don't need to study. From sunrise to sunset to master English, you need consistency, balance, and intention. That's why having a daily learning schedule is one of the most powerful tools you can use. Not only does it keep your progress on track, it also makes English feel like a natural part of your life, not a separate chore. When you break your day into focused, manageable sessions, every hour becomes an opportunity to reinforce the skills you're building. Let's explore a simple but highly effective daily schedule that fits around your life and builds all 4 core skills without stress. Morning. Wake up with audio plus vocabulary. Your brain is fresh, your energy is rising. This is the perfect time to tune in. Start your morning with English in your ears. Listen to a short podcast or audio lesson while making breakfast or commuting. Let your brain warm up to the rhythm of real speech. Then, move into vocabulary. Review 10-20 useful words or phrases using flashcards or an app. Say them out loud. Write 1 or 2 sentences with each. This short morning routine plants the seeds for everything you'll grow throughout the day. Suggested time, 45 minutes to 1 hour. Lunchtime, feed your mind with reading plus. Summarizing. Lunchtime is a great opportunity to fuel your mind as well as your body. Read a short English article, blog post, or a few pages of a book, something you actually enjoy. Then take 5 minutes to summarize what you've read out loud. Don't worry about getting it perfect. Just explain the main idea in your own words. This improves both comprehension and speaking. Bonus points if you write your summary in a notebook or journal. Suggested time, 30-45 minutes. Afternoon. Activate your fluency with speaking practice. This is the time to get active and expressive. Use this block for speaking out loud, either with a tutor, a language partner, or by yourself. Describe your day. Talk about your plans. Role-play a conversation. You could also record a video or voice message and listen to it later to hear how you sound. If you have a partner, pick a simple topic each day and practice back and forth conversation. Remember, the goal is not perfection, it's progress and confidence. Suggested time, 45 minutes. Evening. Relax, watch and mimic. End your day with English immersion that feels like entertainment. Watch a movie, a series episode, or YouTube. Content in English. Use subtitles if needed, but try watching again without them. Choose a few lines you love and mimic them exactly. Pause, repeat, copy the pronunciation and emotion. This is a fun and powerful way to build listening, pronunciation and speaking all at once. Suggested time, 1 hour. With this daily schedule, you're giving your brain 4 rich opportunities to interact with English. Each session works a different muscle, and together they build a strong, confident speaker. And the best part? It fits into a normal day. No burnout, no overwhelm, just steady, meaningful progress. Your fluency doesn't need to arrive all at once. It arrives in these small, consistent steps, in quiet mornings, curious afternoons, bold speaking sessions, and cozy English nights. Staying motivated, how to keep going. When learning feels hard. Every journey has its highs and lows. Some days, you feel like a language genius. You understand everything, you speak smoothly, and English feels easy. But other days, you forget a word you knew yesterday. Your tongue feels heavy. You doubt yourself. You wonder if fluency is even possible. These moments are normal. They don't mean failure, they mean you're growing. And the secret to pushing through is simple. Motivation must be nurtured just like your language skills. Let's explore how to stay inspired, energized, and consistent, especially when motivation fades. Set small, achievable goals. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when your goal is speak English fluently. That's like staring up at the top of a mountain and wondering how you'll ever reach it. But when you break that mountain into small, clear steps, everything changes. Set daily or weekly goals like learn 10 new words, watch 1 English video and mimic 5 lines, write 3 sentences in a journal, have 1 10-minute conversation. Every time you reach one of these mini goals, you feel success, and success fuels more success. Little wins lead to big progress. Track your progress. Learning happens slowly and sometimes invisibly. That's why tracking your journey is so powerful. Keep a notebook or digital log. Each day, write down what you practiced, a few words you learned, or how you felt about your progress. Flip back after a week or a month and see how far you've come. Maybe you once struggled to say, "How are you?" But now you can talk about your weekend. That's growth. That's fluency taking root. Reward yourself. You deserve to celebrate. When you complete a lesson or reach a milestone, treat yourself. Watch a fun English movie, eat your favorite snack, take a walk, or enjoy a guilt-free break. Positive rewards reinforce positive habits. It tells your brain, learning is fun, let's do more. And remember, the reward doesn't have to be big. It just has to make you feel good. Stay connected with others. Learning English doesn't have to be lonely. In fact, when you learn with others, you double your energy. Join a language learning community online. Find a study partner. Participate in a group chat. Even sharing a challenge like, "Today I forgot all my vocabulary," can lead to laughter, support, and encouragement. Together, you lift each other up, and it becomes easier to keep going. Remind yourself why you're learning. On tough days, come back to your why. Why did you start this journey? Was it for a job, a dream, a future trip, or the hope of connecting with people around the world? Write your why on a sticky note. Put it where you'll see it. Every day. It might be something like, "I want to speak with confidence. I dream of studying abroad. I want to understand movies without subtitles." Let that dream pull you forward. Motivation doesn't always come from excitement. It often comes from commitment. You won't feel motivated every day, and that's okay. But if you stay consistent, if you keep your goals in sight, and if you surround yourself with inspiration, you'll keep moving step by step, word by word, toward real fluency. And on the days when it feels hard, remember this. Every struggle means you're trying. Every try means you're improving. And every improvement brings you closer to the confident, capable English speaker you are becoming. Final message. Fluency is achievable with the right mindset. Take a deep breath. Look at how far you've come. Through the noise of doubt, the quiet moments of study, and the days when motivation felt out of reach, you're still here, still learning, still moving forward. And that matters more than anything. Fluency is not a finish line you sprint across in a blaze of glory. It's a path you walk, step by step, mistake by mistake, win by win. Some days you'll fly, some days you'll stumble. But if you keep showing up, keep practicing, and keep believing, you will get there. Your progress won't always be loud. It won't always be obvious, but it will be real. The first time you understand a movie without subtitles, the first time you order coffee in English without freezing, the first time you have a real conversation and forget you're even speaking a second language, that's fluency. Not perfection, not fearlessness, just freedom, flow, connection. And here's the best part. You don't have to do it all today. You don't have to memorize the dictionary or speak without hesitation tomorrow. All you have to do is stay consistent. Trust the process. Use what you've learned. Practice a little every day. Celebrate every step, no matter how small. You've learned how to listen deeply, how to speak boldly, how to read with curiosity, how to write with clarity. You've built habits, systems, and mindsets that will carry you through any challenge. And you've done something most people only dream about. You've committed to becoming someone new. So keep going. When it gets tough, return to your why. When you feel stuck, go back to basics. When you feel lost, reach out for support. And when you feel proud, don't hold back. Smile, speak, soak it in. Fluency isn't just about language, it's about becoming more you in another voice. And every word you learn brings you one step closer to that version of yourself. You've got this. You always have. If you found this story helpful or inspiring, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to LMJ English. Your support motivates us to bring more powerful and meaningful stories that help you grow your English naturally and confidently. Based on all the stories we've worked through, here are 20 key vocabulary words, phrases that appear repeatedly, each with a simple English explanation to help deepen your understanding and usage. Fluency. The ability to speak a language easily and smoothly without needing to pause too much or translate in your head. It's about communication, not perfection. Confidence. The feeling of being sure of your ability to do something well. In language learning, it means speaking even when you make mistakes. Practice. Repeating. An action regularly to improve a skill. Language learning requires daily practice to build fluency. Listening. The skill of understanding spoken language. It helps you hear pronunciation, rhythm, and the natural flow of conversation. Speaking. The act of using your voice to express your thoughts in English. It helps turn knowledge into real communication. Vocabulary. The words you know and use. A strong vocabulary helps you express more ideas clearly and confidently. Comprehensible. Input. Language that is slightly above your current level, so you can understand most of it while learning new words or grammar naturally. Consistency. Doing something regularly without stopping. In learning English, daily consistency is more powerful than studying only once a week. Immersion. Surrounding yourself with English through media, conversations, apps, or daily habits to make learning feel natural. Mindset. The way you think about learning. A positive, patient mindset helps you overcome challenges and keep going. Mistakes. Errors you make when learning something new. Mistakes are a normal and helpful part of the learning process. Repetition. doing or saying something again and again. Repetition helps you remember vocabulary and sentence structures. Shadowing, a technique where you repeat what someone says in English, copying their speed, tone, and pronunciation. Sentence, a group of words that expresses a complete idea. Making sentences with new words helps you remember and use them. Goals, targets you set for yourself, like learning 10 new words a day. Small, clear goals help you stay motivated. Motivation, the energy or reason to keep learning. It helps you study even when progress feels slow. Subtitles, text shown on a video that shows the words being spoken. English subtitles help you improve listening and vocabulary. Learning schedule, a daily or weekly plan that helps you organize your study time and focus on different skills. Environment, the space and tools you surround yourself with. An English-rich environment helps you learn faster. Progress, the improvements and steps forward you make over time. Every new word, sentence, or conversation is a sign of progress.